Hello, my name is Kaitlyn Booth. I am the head film writer here at Bleeding Cool, and my Twitter handle is @Katie'sMovies.
I am Jeremy Konrad, and I write about toys for Bleeding Cool, and my Twitter handle is @JeremyOhio.
Hey everybody, this is Ray Flook. I write about television for Bleeding Cool. You can reach me on Twitter @OldManGeek88.
Hey everybody, and I'm Bill Waters. I'm TV and film writer at Bleeding Cool. My Twitter handle is BillRW and the number 3.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of BC Chatter, where I gather a bunch of my writers and make them talk about stuff on camera, because that's what I do. We have a couple of different topics I want to cover today, and one of the first ones is we had 2 major trailers drop this week. We finally got a look at the Tomb Raider reboot, starring Alicia Vikander, and we also finally got a full trailer for The Punisher due out later this year. So let's go over Tomb Raider first. What do you guys think of this one? It's been kind of really quiet this year. Nobody's really heard that much about this movie yet. Well, this is going to be a short conversation.
Well, no, I mean it's all right. I mean, I'll grant that it looks a lot like the game. Was it the one Tomb Raider or so ago? I mean, she's got her ice picks. The way she looks just like it. The character design from the film, but it's all right. I'm just not that I'm not that excited about Tomb Raider, but I'm not that much into the game franchise, so I'm not the best to go get gaga over it. I do love Vikander, Alicia Vikander.
Vikander, I think.
Vikander. I love Vikander. Don't get me wrong, awesome actress. Ever since Ex Machina, I'm totally a fan of hers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, stay here.
Ray?
I gotta say, I've never been that big of a fan of the Tomb Raider franchise. I give Alicia Vikander, I give her a lot of credit because honestly, her presence in that trailer made me look past some of the questionable CGI. And I think that says a lot because she actually sold me on the film to at least so that I'm cautiously optimistic. The one thing I gotta say that I did like about the trailer is I do like the idea of it doesn't seem like we're going to get a lot of delay of, is she worthy to take on this mission? I liked it was like, Dad died, left essentially this key that he knew she'd be smart enough to find, and essentially, hey, look, you've got everything you need, tackle this mission, I can't do it anymore, but I know you can. I kind of liked that. It was like, okay, she's ready to go, let's get this started. That was nice. That was a good takeaway from the trailer. There's
a behind-the-scenes featurette, and she worked her butt off. She looks like she could break me in half, and I would say, thank you, ma'am, may I have another? Jeremy?
As a fan of the video game series, not so much the other movies, I was more impressed than I thought I would be. I was all day everybody was hyping up the release of the trailer and everything, and I didn't know as a society we had decided that Tomb Raider was worth all of this hype. But almost like a Star Wars trailer release, but once it was released it was kind of a bit of a letdown because of all that hype. She looks wonderful. I can't wait to see it just because of her. It does look an awful lot, like Bill said, just like the games themselves, as far as the reboot of the games they did. So on a whole, I'm excited, but definitely they hyped it up way too much for me.
They have to. They haven't. Nobody knew this movie was coming out, and it comes out in March.
Wow.
So,
it comes out in March?
It comes out in March.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, they started late.
Just a little bit.
So is there hope they're going to go with this compressed, we're just going to inundate you with Tomb Raider for 4 weeks to make up for lost time?
There's probably a really good chance that's going to happen. Marketing's, but another one that's probably about to kick into high gear is the Jumanji movie that's coming out in December.
We got trailers for that this week too.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Does anybody care? I honestly don't know anyone who cares.
No.
I haven't even watched it yet.
Yeah, there are some films and TV series that serve really well, either as a reboot or a reimagining or whatever. But there's others that it's kind of like that, the iPhone 10, a few days ago coming out, that you'd think Apple, everyone on the planet was screaming for all this new technology. And in the end, no, Everyone already had it on Android happily, and people look at their iPhone 7s and go, "No, we're good, thank you." Same thing with a lot of these films. It's kind of like no one was screaming for another Tomb Raider right now. So I mean, hopefully it will be good, but it's also kind of like, and like Jumanji, because the world was all really wanting another Jumanji right now.
Yeah. The one thing about that trailer I found interesting, and I don't want to dwell on this too long because it's not really worth it, is that the game itself seems to move forward in time the same way we do. So, like, in 1997, the idea of playing a board game was super nostalgic, and it's like, let's play this for giggles. Now, the idea of playing, like, a 4-person retro game is that version of nostalgia. So... Yeah. For, like, a series, they could do one of these, like, every 20 years and move ahead with the technology. No. That might be kind of interesting.
Yeah. No thanks.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, you're right.
I was going to say, you'd be really kind.
I know. Actually, that's not true. I'm very rarely kind. But
I'm a sucker for anything with a rock in it, so they already have my money, unfortunately, though.
Well, that's because you're a wrestling fan.
Well, not even just a wrestling fan. Like, one of my goals in life is to be carried by the Rock somewhere.
Wait, I'm sorry. I heard wrestling fan being said like it was a bad thing.
No, I don't have a problem with wrestling fans. I don't get it. I tried watching it and I don't get it. That's just me. I'm sorry.
Got to go see it live.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll convert you. We'll convert
right.
Key.
I've been known to enjoy almost anything with enough beer, so
There you go.
They do definitely sell beer at wrestling shows.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so the Punisher trailer that released this morning. Kind of out of nowhere. I was expecting this trailer at New York Comic Con, to be honest. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to premiere for us at that panel. What'd you guys think of that trailer? Go ahead, Jeremy. Just jump in whenever you want.
I'm going into when it's. I actually now earlier I was thinking maybe they released the whole season on like Black Friday, like around Thanksgiving. Now I'm thinking they're not showing the date and they showed the trailer before New York Comic Con, that they might just drop it the weekend of New York Comic Con, like the whole series on Netflix. As far as the trailer itself, loved it. Loved every second of it. Loved the use of the Metallica song. He's perfect as Frank as far as I'm concerned. It looks the right level of violent for a Punisher TV show. And I honestly just can't wait. And if that happens, I will happily watch the whole thing multiple times that weekend.
How about you guys?
It looks. I have to be honest. First, I was impressed because even a lot of television shows and movie trailers, they'll use Metallica or use like a heavy metal song. But even the choice of one was appropriate for even what the series is going for. So I love that, and the fact that what we saw kind of matched using the song. That I really liked about the trailer. And again, with all the buildup and everything, and all the talk about Frank's going to try and get in touch to his human side, and even the idea of the surveillance videos watching him. It was nice to see a trailer build up where he was in control in that situation. Yeah, I liked it.
What about you, Bill?
It looked good, gritty. It looked, violent, and again, good casting. Good casting. I think he'll be a good step in. I'll always see. Was it Lundgren or whatnot from the Punisher once upon a time?
Dolph Lundgren.
It's like I flashback. It's like but no. I think this will be another good thing. And again, right now, Defenders is okay, but still, right now the bar is always. You can always say, "Hey, it's better than Iron Fist."
This in general, these shows in general this year have been kind of a mixed bag. So, if Punisher comes out swinging, it'll be the series everybody's talking about this year.
Yeah.
I will say I was so excited just to even see any glimpses of Karen Page, because I ship that like FedEx. I don't care. I know I shouldn't, and that it's not what they were intending, but I love that dynamic so much. And the fact that they got her in that solo series, I was like, yes, good move. Do that. Smart. So I'm excited to see them interact some more.
Nice.
Stay away from Matt.
Yes. Matt is just a disaster of a human being, and he always has been.
You know what?
Well.
Looking at what you guys were saying about when it's releasing, I hadn't noticed that they were being all freaking coy and shit with regards.
Oh,
to
you had noticed that?
I hadn't really noticed the thing. I'm like, oh, it's all like even on the description on the YouTube video down at on the bottom of the text, it's just black squares over it,
Yep.
and it's
Got it
not.
redacted.
And there's a new and upcoming section over in the press side on Netflix for the screening stuff, and I'm looking forward. It's not on the list, so yeah, they're gonna do something they think is particularly cute and drop it point blank.
I'm telling you, New York Comic Con.
You think?
Nice. Well, that was
And
a
at the
nice
end-
choice of words. Well done.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like,
At the end of the New York panel, they'll be like, "And now go watch it because it's live."
And every reporter
And I
sitting
will
there
cry.
Exactly. Every reporter will
Huge.
be like, I got what, and everyone sitting in the next panel will be sitting there watching it on their iPhone streaming
Yep.
and ignoring the panel.
Yeah,
and the
good
next
luck.
That's what
panel
they
is Walking Dead. That will not happen.
Oh, yeah.
Walking Dead.
I think I agree with most people when they say that it's probably going to drop on the 10th of November because it's Veterans Day. That's the birthday. It's basically the Marine's birthday. They've been really pushing his military background as far as like any of the promo material goes. That just seems like the thing they would do.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
timeline-wise, as far as how they space these out, mid-November, early December was my guess all along. So the 10th is about. I think we're going to be getting it the 10th. What wouldn't surprise me is if they did what they did at the Jessica Jones panel a couple of years ago, which is just screen the whole pilot.
Right.
They did this at the Defenders panel as well, because the timing is about right, about 6 weeks, and knowing them, the Punisher pilot, if they do that, it'll have like a massive cliffhanger, like the end of
Right.
the Jessica Jones pilot did, and they'll be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you guys have to wait 6 more weeks." Jerks.
That's-
All right, Jeremy, you wanted to talk Funkos.
Yeah,
Do you want me to
Funko.
show off the 3
In case
I
you
got
can't tell,
first?
I like those things a little bit. So, speaking of New York Comic Con, they, for the past couple weeks, have been announcing all of their exclusives. There's a little bit of everything there for everybody, really. There's DC, there's Game of Thrones, there's Hanna-Barbera, there's Marvel, there's Rick and Morty they announced today. There's Star Wars, including a Dengar finally, for all of you Star Wars fans that didn't know, Dengar is finally coming. Just curious, any of you planning on trying to get any of them?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I put in for the lottery. Fingers crossed.
There, yes.
That's
I don't know.
that's a neat way of doing it. I like that they do that New York Comic Con and ReedPop lets them do the lottery. It's way easier than it is for San Diego Comic Con. I can attest to that, as I've been in the San Diego Comic Con line for Funko before, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst.
The lotteries are a pretty fair system.
It's about as fair as you can make it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
exactly.
things considered. I haven't really been paying attention to what's coming out yet. I saw all of the Rogue ones that kind of confused me. I was like, why Rogue One? Why not Last Jedi? Which kind of confused me.
A lot of they released obviously like 10 or 11 pops, including Porgs. I know you like Porgs. They released a lot of those on Force Friday this year.
Yeah.
So they've pretty much exhausted all of I'm holding a Funko while I'm talking, by the way. They've pretty much exhausted all of the characters that they can talk about or have been revealed to the public from The Last Jedi at this point. There's not really much they can do there. Plus, they've talked repeatedly about wanting to expand their Rogue One line. There was characters they didn't get to do. There was variations of some of the characters they couldn't do because they were still being withheld from Lucasfilm. So it's a nice way to get those characters out, like they did Bodhi at San Diego.
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Speaking of Star Wars fans, if you're watching this and you collect Star Wars Funko, on October 1st, if you have a Target Red card, you will be able to purchase one of these.
Oh.
It is an exclusive Target Red card only Red Stormtrooper.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cool. Like, I like the look of that thing. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same. It's a variation of the original Stormtrooper mold.
Right.
It's got the same number, but it is only available to you if you have a Target Red card, which you still have time to sign up for.
That
And they have
is devious as hell.
yes,
Holy
and they also,
crap.
if you don't want a credit card or you can't get a credit card or it's not available to you for whatever reason, they also have like a debit card option, so you can sign up and it'll just take your it's like a debit card basically, like your bank account.
Okay.
And you can get one.
That is
Cool.
devious.
That is
Yes.
nice.
Oh man, have they done that before with red cards?
They have not.
No,
It's
that's
one
a
of the first
first.
times they've ever done anything like this. So I'm
Not the
pretty
last.
curious.
No.
I'm pretty
Smart
curious
move.
to see how this is going to work for them.
Yeah.
Poorly. Probably
Yeah.
poorly.
Probably pretty poorly. I am glad that I have mine already.
You and your connections. Well, I went over. Oh, go ahead.
No, they just flat out sent a bunch to random red card holders already as well
Oh.
as a thank you. And I may or may not have gotten an extra one that I'll be giving away on my Twitter this weekend.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Nice tease. So I went over to my friend Denz's house right before we started recording this, and he's another Funko collector. I needed to borrow his camera for Salt Lake Comic Con this weekend, and he had 3 pops that he had ordered for me because he orders almost everything in doubles, regardless of whether I tell him I want it or not. Because he pretty much knows what pops I want and which ones I don't. So I've got 3 of them. They're exclusives, but not like fancy exclusives. I have the box lunch exclusive. This is the shiny BB9
Ooh.
9E, or as I call it, the Goth BB8.
Yes. BB hate.
Nice.
DB hate.
Then got the Walmart Resistance BB8 unit.
Nice.
Nice.
That one was flying off the shelves in Ohio on Force Friday.
Yep, they were all flying off the shelves. It's Force Friday. And then gotta have the General.
I still haven't found her.
Oh, that is
That's
nice addition there.
And she's just an awesome outfit too. She looks great. I love it. So yeah, those are my latest additions to my collection. I've been trying to cut back because I'm running out of wall space.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I understand. It's not a habit. You can quit anytime.
No. You have to pretty much get rid of your entire collection if you're gonna quit, and there are a couple that I'm way too attached to at this point.
Actually, fine. So, Jeremy, what's your favorites? You get to pick 2 or 3. What's your favorites of that wall?
Of that wall? Oh.
Yeah.
I'd have to say my Ric Flair.
Nice.
Speaking of wrestling, yeah. I have all of the Chase figures from Stranger Things. So that was difficult to get. So I would hang on to those.
You bribed somebody at Hot Topic, didn't you?
I have my connections at Hot Topic. And
All
then,
Funko collectors have their connections at Hot Topic.
And it's a basic one, but I just got they're doing their own line of figures called Pop Monsters, and they are adorable. I would say this Tumblebee guy is definitely this one's pretty special. Yeah, so those would be my picks.
I could just picture him. Jeremy wanders into Hot Topic with a couple of packs of cloves and just kind of, deals them out. It's like, hey guys. So Kaitlyn, what about you? What's your favorites? Or, ones you would not part with until the very end.
My first Funko I ever got was a maskless Bucky Barnes from Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Nice.
So he's one of my favorites. And then probably, just because it's a good story to go along with them, I have a bloody Hannibal Lecter and a flocked Rocket Raccoon that I got from San Diego Comic-Con, that I got from basically being a decent human being and some sheer dumb luck. Mm-hmm. And the last one would probably be the most expensive one I have, which is my Tony Stark from Iron Man 3, the one without a mask on him. Mm-hmm. I've got maskless Tony and maskless Rhodey that I managed to find for like $35 and $25 respectively.
Wow.
A couple of years ago.
Very nice.
So probably, but yeah, the Bucky Barnes, he's my favorite. I love the Bucky. And the Bucky Dorbs is my mascot. He comes with me to conventions.
I hooked you up with Bucky Cap at San Diego this year.
You did, and I was so excited about that.
You were.
I can see. We should tell Mark that what we need to do is get all the staffers custom Funkos of themselves. So when we're doing panels, you just put them on the panel, sitting up on the table.
Yes,
that is a fantastic idea.
I know,
and that way, Kaitlyn can have everyone talking to each other.
Major
I like this idea.
Major thumbs up on that.
Yep.
Actually, then I could just see Mark sitting in his office with these various Funkos of us, just kind of going grr, arg, and having them fight.
Why aren't you online right now?
Beep, beep, beep.
That's showing way too emotion for our replicant boss.
That's true.
No, then he'll make them like little cyborgs, and then he'll have little, Terminator versions.
And then we all get replaced by robots.
Awesome. What about you, Ray? Are you a
He's
collector?
a robot. He's just going to delete it.
Oh yeah, I've actually have. These are the ones that watch over me. My was on here. My Dale Cooper.
Nice.
Out. Just it represents 27 years of waiting for the damn show to come back. And then I gotta say, of all the Doctor Who Funkos I love, this is the only one I own, and the War Doctor.
Aw.
I don't know.
It's too soon,
because it's the only one I really think represents of everything I love about it. So yeah. I came late to the game. My friend got me really more into it, but yeah, you're right. Once you start getting a franchise that you love, like again when the Twin Peaks came out and Preacher, oof. Yeah, had to buy in bulk. Clark's Toys. Hello. Yeah, had to order online.
Wait, here we go. Hold up the Dale Cooper again. Now it's holding there. Look, that's all the dialogue of Twin Peaks this season. It's just him standing and not saying anything.
Well done.
Glad to see I'm not alone in my bitterness, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Jeremy.
One of the New York exclusives this year is the first Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Have they announced what's shared and what's not yet?
They don't do that until the day before the con opens to make it easy on everybody.
Easy. That's what they call it. Got it.
That's one way of putting it.
It's like the running of the bulls.
That's what trying to get into the Funko booth is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a fun post to do every year before the big cons. It's like, they just announced it. And last year on Reddit, I found for San Diego, I found one guy who had in like 30 seconds made this flow chart. I'm like, if I give you credit, can I post this? And he's like, sure. So it's
like, you did my work for me.
I was like, thank you so much.
Actually, whoever's the strong gamers, you guys should think about how to write up a. Have you ever seen the IKEA walkthrough online?
Yeah.
It's a description like the old Zork games kind of a thing. Is what you do, all the steps you have to take to get through playing IKEA, and getting into the place and out. Do a walkthrough for New York Comic Con. Yeah, what's all the survival things? Where do you have to go? Pick things up. Take lantern. You might get eaten by.
Is that even possible this year?
Man, talking about Funkos and the toys. So, Toys R Us.
Go on. Filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So I was talking with Jeremy about this earlier when I missed the story going up on our site and realized it was happening like 4 hours later like I normally do. And I was like, this doesn't really surprise me because I feel super uncomfortable almost in Toys R Us stores, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because they have not changed since like ever. Like they literally have the same layout that they did when we were all kids, and kids today and us do not shop the same.
Yeah, no.
I do.
Well, you have a kid.
That's true.
But even then, like, kids today are different from kids when we were kids. There's just such huge differences as far as like what toys they're buying and what kind of toys they're buying
and how they buy them. Really, how they buy them, because it's even if you assume that kids are buying as many toys, and really so much time is now taken up between Kindles and iPads and iPhones and to take away some of the playtime. Legos is really popular, and you have a couple of those lines that are really healthy, and then everything else is mostly collectibles. I mean, action figures and stuff. I mean, I don't often see kids. They'll be playing with card games. I mean, they're more gamers now, whether it be computer games or playing Pokemon Go or playing Magic the Gathering or pick your favorite game. They're spending more time there and spending the money there rather than all of the toys. And even when they do, how many people bother to go to a toy store? You go online, look at Amazon, and go click at cheapest price. It's not a real surprise. Did anyone get a sense, is this bankruptcy meant to, restructure debt and get out, or is this a death knell?
It's a restructure and get out.
But what do you think? Do you think that's going to happen, that they'll get out?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like any other retailer right now. Mm-hmm. If it's brick and mortar, it's pretty much going out of style. It's
right.
I go to Toys R Us like 3 or 4 times a week. That's because I have a sickness, and there's one right across the street from my work, and I collect action figures. So there's really not a whole lot of place. I like to hold it in my hands.
Right.
I'm an old style shopper. I like to hold it in my hands. I like to look at the paint apps. I like to make sure that the arm doesn't look like this inside the package.
That Luke's eyes aren't like this on the Black Series figure.
Yes, like Luke's eyes. But they'll never change. That's what I like about it. I even sent some of the lyrics to the Toys R Us theme song, where I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Like, right. I want to shop at Toys R Us. But even like Bill said, Lego and that is so popular now. Even Lego, for the last financial quarter, is posting a 13% loss and laying off 1,600 people. So, I mean, less and less kids are playing with toys. Mm-hmm. And they're playing with their phones. They're playing with leapfrog pads and iPads and tablets and, those I forget the term now, and that's embarrassing. The like Disney Infinity and those.
Right.
Oh yeah, Skylanders.
Yeah, all those games where you're interacting, but it's on a television screen. Right. It's not about the toys or the figures themselves. It's about what you're doing with them. So, I mean, I guess that's the way of the future. I write about toys, so I don't know how.
Jeremy, I have bad news. You're fired.
I'll never not want to walk into a Toys R Us and shop. So I guess I'm the wrong person to ask that question. Right. I hope that it's just a restructuring and get out, but I mean, the writing's on the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think, when I first read the article, my thought was, do you think there's something to be invested in the Toys R Us name to go with a strong, primarily online presence, or is Toys R Us just not strong enough to go up against like an Amazon?
They're probably not strong enough to go up against Amazon, but I mean, when they formally announced the bankruptcy and restructuring today, they launched a new website, and it's like the new Hulu. It's like awful. The user interface is terrible. It's hard to search for products. They're trying to get people to search by the UPC number.
What?
Like,
because I know I have those memorized.
Does the average person even know what that is anymore?
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I don't know.
God.
I don't know if you guys have been on Hulu since it relaunched, but I mean, it's bad.
It's rough. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's even for something major like Force Friday now, everybody I know goes to Target, everyone goes to Walmart. I mean, every person I know who went to Force Friday at Toys R Us was let down. They didn't have anything. Yeah, you were one of them.
I was first in line, and then, you know what? They had vendors not sending them as much merchandise because they were afraid they couldn't pay for it, and you can see it like with Force Friday. You were there; they had nothing. They got like 3 cases of figures for like 100 people in line.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I didn't buy anything. I told the people behind me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get these because they're going to be everywhere. I'm just here for the experience. Go ahead and buy what you want. And they got their stuff, and they came outside and they told everybody, okay, there's nothing left.
Oh. Yeah, that's how it was when I went to Rogue Friday or whatever they called Force Friday last year. We went into a Toys R Us. I think I got like 1 Funko, maybe. No, I didn't get any. I think I just got like 1 Black Series figure that I managed to find. And then we went and drove to a Walmart, and they just had piles upon piles of stuff like 2 hours later. Like 2 o'clock in the morning, 24-hour Walmart in the middle of nowhere in Utah. And they had piles upon piles of everything I wanted. They even had some of the exclusives. It was just like...
Wow.
The poster and the T-shirt was cool, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, back to what Target was doing with the Funkos and their exclusives. I think stores like that would probably end up being the last remnants of the toy store, kind of a thing. Not including places like comic stores and gaming stores that expand into collectibles and other exclusive type items. So
I mean, I shop at. I mean, would any one of you guys see yourself shopping at Hot Topic before Funko?
No.
No, not admittedly. No.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I did when I was in high school and I was going through my goth phase, and then I kind of. Yeah. And then Funkos pulled me back into Hot Topic, and then her universe and all of the actual geek clothing that fits me, thank God, has kept me there.
Right.
So, but I know people who shop at Hot Topic now more than they ever have in their lives because they collect Funkos, and Hot Topic is one of the places to go for Funkos. I mean, everyone I know has good relationships with their Hot Topic cashiers,
Right.
like on first name basis.
But it's funny though. What you're saying is like, but still, you probably don't go anywhere into the store past the cash register because everything, you've got the fashion at the front, you got the Funko stands, and then you stop because the stuff on the back is again, kind of the neo high school goth era stuff.
Oh, hell no. The back is where all the clearance racks are. Then you can actually find something at decent price.
Really? Oh, ours are all up the front on the right-hand
side.
No.
And I got to say, this might be sacrilege to say, but I actually found the Ramones shirt I was looking for, and it felt weird at my age to know I was making a T-shirt purchase at Hot Topic. But damn it, it was the damn Ramones shirt I wanted, and I got it.
You found it.
Proud of
now
it.
When you find the Ramones Funkos, you know.
You know they're coming.
They had Joey at Hot Topic today, actually.
Oh, God.
Yep. That on my list.
And Metallica.
Damn it! Oh no!
Metallica, yeah.
All right, what do we got? Any last things on the Toys R Us bankruptcy stuff? Toys, death of toys, yada yada. Cool. Misc news.
Yeah. There was something you said you wanted to talk about, Ray.
Yeah, I only because I feel like this is going to start becoming a thing, and I didn't originally think of it at first. Damon Lindelof's Watchmen.
All right.
And again, I know it's something we've been covering, and I know Rich just had the most recent article about Damon posting on Instagram about day one. The fact that HBO really came out today to formally, even after that was put out there, to say, oh, no, we're moving ahead with the pilot, we've actually already commissioned new scripts. On top of the fact that they're losing Game of Thrones, and on top of the fact that they really don't have another tentpole series, it feels like this is really becoming something that HBO is going to invest itself in. I'm taking that as cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I know people come down on both sides on this. My personal feeling aside is I respect Alan Moore's work, but I still feel like you can still utilize it. But I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to know what you guys think in regards to that, because if HBO is putting its money and its resources behind this to make this a foundational thing, it's a good sign at least.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, they do have Westworld, but again, while Westworld is absolutely awesome and I love Westworld, I don't really know what kind of legs it's going to have. I can't see it really being an 8-season kind of a thing. And you also have the 3 Game of Thrones series currently in develop. In various stages.
It was 5 now.
Yeah, 5.
They're growing because just like you said, HBO
it's like Avatar sequels.
Yeah.
Yes.
You blink twice and they double in size. And we probably won't get that many in total, but HBO is going to milk that cow as long as it can go, which is still why it's kind of shocking that they ended Game of Thrones so soon with so few episodes when they could just, as we've established this season, you could have really crap episodes and people will still give it amazing ratings. But Watchmen, here's hoping, because if anybody could do it, it'd be like Stars or them are kind of your options.
Yeah.
It would feel so weird to hear Stars presents Watchmen.
Hey,
and again, hearing Stars presents American Gods was weird too.
Yeah.
And it came out. I liked it. So what they've had so far of it. Ray, you liked American Gods in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I have to say It's rare. I will say that I'm never going to say that. It improved on the book, because it's not going to improve on the book.
It's different.
But it really, like with Lori, it really fleshed out her, bad pun granted.
Right.
It really fleshed out her character a lot. Emily Browning, I thought, made me feel for that character a lot more than I thought Neil Gaiman did. And even in recent interviews, he's even said that it was one of the things that he liked, that he felt that the character got a lot more fleshed out in the series. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. If you haven't seen it, American Gods is definitely worth a binge watch.
Yeah, I just read the book. I had not read it beforehand. Saw the series, then I read it, and I'm like, and people liked this book. Gaiman is not my, if this is his norm of his writing, it's kind of not my thing. So I enjoyed the series a lot more. And Dead Wife I thought was awesome, and Leprechaun and everybody just really well done. But again, I mean, it goes back to the cable and premium networks are doing really good work with series. I mean, the last thing you want to go is, oh, hey, we're going to have Watchmen on ABC. Because that would be weird.
God.
Oh wait, we talked about this in our last episode, provided it's up now. Yes, Hulu beat all of the streaming services to a best drama nomination at win at the Emmys. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. Yep. And have you noticed also that since then, how many Hulu related announcements have been coming out now too? They're really taking advantage of that win.
Yeah.
Smart.
Oh yeah. Yep. I have a feeling they're gonna. That's one series I am kind of concerned about, is the fact that we have not seen anything from Runaways yet, and it premieres like December 14th or something like that.
Right.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, not December, November. It's in November.
So soon.
So I remember, it's really soon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they've got a panel at New York on Friday night that I definitely am going to try to get into, but it's just, the streaming services have really just revamped the way we consume media. I mean, Stranger Things, took over the planet. When that came out, it was unlike anything. I don't think I've ever seen a reaction to a TV show like that before. I can't remember the last time I saw a reaction to a TV show like that.
Twin Peaks, the original, when it first hit, the entire. It's like when. I'm sorry, I'm an old ass fart. When JR got shot.
I got you, Bill.
When JR got shot. When Twin Peaks hit, and everybody was, what the hell? I remember the centerfold in People magazine was this big, the relationships of Twin Peaks, and it was this huge org chart of lines and dotted lines and question marks, and everyone was totally captivated. And in TV speak, it's probably generational, meaning that maybe every 5 or 6 years, Lost was another one where you had everyone,
the Lost pilot
for the first mini seasons, until things got a little strange. I still love that series, and I will still defend and have to keep explaining to Marianne what the ending is.
I'm right there with.
They're not dead on that island. Don't get me started.
It was a great finale. Beautiful finale.
Right there. That's why I like you, Ray.
Beautiful finale. Beautiful finale.
But there was another series for seasons. It was like every next day, people were like, "What the hell just happened?" And people would, end up beating each other up. It was, gold dress, blue dress kind of thing. And now we have Stranger Things happened, and something just everyone became fascinated by this thing.
And I'm gonna confess, I still haven't watched it. I know.
I'm right there with you then.
Oh, thank God! I'm not the only one.
I honestly,
thank God.
Caitlin, tell me, it doesn't strike you as one of those shows that you love, though you've never seen.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I like everything I've heard about it. I like the aesthetic. I think I've seen the first 2 episodes, I think. It's just a matter of finding 8 hours of my life that I have, and I just don't have that right now.
Yeah. Which is an interesting way of looking at a lot of the the Netflix series and the binge watch series. It's not, I'm going to spend the next hour of my life. You kind of going is I'm going to watch the next 8, 10, 12 hours, more or less in a row. And sometimes that can be just, I don't have the energy for this. It's too daunting. So
I already have plans for when it goes up when season 2 goes up at 3 a.m. to have people over so we can watch the whole thing, go to sleep, wake up, and watch it again.
See, that's But if you get that kind of environment, that's a cool way to do it.
Okay,
really is.
What I want,
I do watch parties for all the Marvel series.
Jeremy, set up cameras, do a reaction vid of that.
I will totally do that.
Of that viewing party. Do it,
or just live stream it on Twitch.
If you've never done it, these days, some of the times, Game of Thrones episodes, the best ways to watch them is that bar in Burlington, the reaction videos from there. There's a whole bar that watches every episode, and they record, 4 different cameras recording the, scenes of the bar, and this whole crowd of screaming and crying and all, everyone getting into it. So, yeah, do that vid.
That's how I watched Game of Thrones this season, or most of Game of Thrones this season, because I don't watch Game of Thrones. But I've started going to Rick and Morty watch parties, and we'd watch Rick and Morty, then we'd watch Game of Thrones as soon as it went up on HBO Go, and that was how I watched the first Game of Thrones episode I've watched entirely since like the pilot.
Really?
Was the episode where the Lannister army gets attacked. And I got to watch all of my friends just lose their minds. And I get so much joy out of watching people react to stuff like that. Like, one of my best movie experiences I've had this year was sitting between two Power Rangers mega fans while watching that movie. Because they were just loving life. Like, I didn't even like the movie that much, but that's one of the best experiences I've had in a theater this year, was just seeing the sheer amount of joy other people get out of this stuff. So I'm like, Game of Thrones isn't my thing, but you know what? I'm enjoying watching my friends have the time of their life.
You know, that's kind of what I got out of, Wonder Woman this year. It's like, I loved Wonder Woman as a movie, but sitting in a theater watching it and watching everyone around, especially women in the audience watch it, was the best thing ever, because it makes it so much more kind of moving and strong.
Yep, I cried.
Yeah.
I had that with It this year.
I cried during
You are
it.
so obsessed with the movie.
I cried too, but for very different reasons. I'm like, that's 2 hours.
Our replicant boss can't make me go see it.
Wait, Bill, you weren't a fan of it?
It's better to say it was fine. It was fine. I've seen Stand By Me. You know, I've seen I've seen any of your random horror films where the demon is something that makes you afraid, and then our heroes realize this.
I'm really glad we're not in the same room, so I don't have to separate you guys right now.
But you know what?
So on the next edition of BC Chatter, we're going to be talking about it.
No, what we do is let's talk. On the topic of it, Stephen King can write a group of kids at that age going through that sort of experience like nobody's business. He does it really, really well. It was a well-made film. It was very pretty. Skarsgård, I mean, holy crap, anyone that's with a thing with clowns is never going to be the same if they watch that thing. So props to that. Just, if I went into it looking for a horror film, and for me, I watched a lot of horror movies. It's kind of like you knew what it was having, so it wasn't that. But I can appreciate it was very well made. And if people like the book, because I'm not a book reader, it may well be great for them. So, like I said, I didn't not like it. I just was expecting this, this epiphany. But, part to it. But I would love to go see it with. If I was going to see it again, I want to see it with some people that are scared of clowns, and I'm just going to sit there and enjoy the crap out of life and eat popcorn. So.
I got to tell you, real quick on a side note, I got a chance to watch the rebroadcast of the ABC miniseries.
Yeah.
I never truly appreciate. I always thought Tim Curry was fantastic.
Yeah.
But watching it again, I didn't realize how much of that he was in that miniseries, and how much he did with just basic face paint and a basic clown costume. Just incredible. That's why I was so psyched about this new version too. And again, he honored him. He really did. He honored him well.
Yeah.
Going back to Watchmen for a second,
which is like
hopefully if they're doing, it's not going to be like a one-off maxi series, so to speak. They incorporate a lot of before Watchmen. That's what I want to see. I've seen Watchmen on the screen. I've read it I don't know how many times. Yeah. Give me some of the before Watchmen stuff added in, and then you've got my interest.
The interesting part will be when the show's a hit and they start going beyond the 12th issue.
Ooh, that's going to be weird.
Oof. Wait till the conversation.
You'll be able to see, you could like hear Alan Moore losing his mind when they do that, because he will. It'll be like a shifting in the force, and we'll all be like, Alan Moore is having a nervous breakdown right now.
I know. I can feel the BC comment sections swelling already.
Yep.
I know. I have to be honest with you. I'm very concerned about Alan Moore's feelings about taking people's characters and changing them and altering them in a way. I'm sorry he takes that personally. That's just always going to be my feeling on that one. You can't be angry about having something done to you that you do. Mm-hmm. That's just my 10-cent little evaluation.
That was worth a quarter, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other news? Of course, last week. Anybody else? News, items, tidbits?
Not anything huge that comes to my mind. Did you guys have any articles this week that you wanted to plug? Anything specific?
I wrote an awesome article about a Sia music video for the My Little Pony movie.
Nice.
I didn't see that. Okay.
It's actually a pretty good song, and since I have a 5-year-old, there's no way I don't get away with seeing that movie like 72,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
And for a song from a movie like that, it's actually pretty good. It's a good song.
Nice.
Ray, do you have any live blogs coming up?
A couple things. I just finished up a live recap for the season finale of Preacher that went up on Monday. Doing live blog and did the recap from last week's American Horror Story Cult that went up on Tuesday. But the big thing I like to plug, because it covers a lot of the writers of Bleeding Cool, is every Friday we do the weekly Static, which kind of just gives an overview of 10 topics from the field of television that Bleeding Cool covered, kind of give highlights to what the writers are doing, and also give at least my attempt to try to be a little funny and put a little spin on what each of the stories are about.
Cool. And
Bill?
Well, actually, on Ray, still, do you have any more shows coming up? Stand-up otherwise.
Right now, I just finished up with Twin Peaks and with Preacher. American Horror Story Cult is going on right now. I'm looking to also do Lore, and again, I would love to hook into Mindhunters. That, for some reason, I don't know what it is. That thing has just kind of latched in the back of my brain, and everything I've been reading about is just really, really into it. I think it's Fincher more than anything else.
Awesome. Me, anything you guys write. I love, nothing like some of the long forms and stuff that we do, and some of the investigative digging. People are mostly right now starting to get focused, ramping up towards New York Comic Con. Everyone hitting that, all the various press solicits, and trying to get into those rooms. That'll make for an exciting reading coming up here soon. Do we still have, who was it that was doing the daily, Today in Geek thing? Is that still going on?
It went on hiatus for a little while. I'm going to pick it back up soon. Life got a little crazy, hectic after San Diego for a little while, but it's starting to settle down a little bit, so I can put some more effort into it again. So it'll be coming back.
Suggestion, if you're really looking at doing this for a long form, don't do it every day. Do it every week or so, and then as years come along, you offset it and stagger it. So after a number of years, you'll have stuff for every day, but you're not having to do the day-to-day, because those pieces were great and long and expansive, and we find out all kinds of cool things of today in geek history.
Yeah, it was doing it daily became like it went from, oh, cool, I'm doing this every day, to, oh, I'm doing this every day, to that, to like, oh, I'm doing this every day. But yeah, once it got kind of hectic around here for a little while, it got really hard to do every single day. But yeah, I do plan on it coming back.
Awesome.
Cool.
Excellent.
And also, before we meet again next time, we will have Star Trek Discovery. Hits on Sunday night. So we'll find
And Inhumans is Friday, right? Isn't Inhumans this Friday? Or is that next weekend?
No, it's coming up. It might be this week.
I think it might be, yeah.
Is it this week? Is it this week and next week premieres, like Premiere Central?
It's starting to pick up. Lucifer's going to be back soon. The Gifted premieres soon.
Oh, well, Young Sheldon.
And Inhumans is starting soon. I'm more morally against anything Big Bang Theory.
I run a comic book store. I don't know how many times a day I get called Stuart.
Yeah,
and I'm ready for that show to go off the air.
It's, if you want to be insulted in any kind of way for geeks, it's like, Big Bang. It's when you have non-geek friends going, "I love Big Bang Theory," and then you're like, "Screw you, hippie."
They act like it's their gateway drug into understanding what you're about. It's nice.
It's like it's how cute.
It's adorable.
It really is. Cool. So everybody, thank you guys very much. Anything?
Oh wait, I don't want to plug.
Well, I was going to say you. This was saying you. What do you got?
Yes.
No.
All right,
you haven't seen it. No.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. And I haven't watched Stranger Things either. I should just hang up Skype right now and go home.
Oh, wait, you are home.
Be proud. You admitted it. Be proud.
That's true.
It's out on the internet now. I'm pretty sure I've admitted it before. This week I saw 2 movies. Yeah. I saw Kingsman: The Golden Circle and the Lego Ninjago movie. At time of recording, the Lego Ninjago movie review is not up yet, but by the time this gets up, that will be up. Later in the week, I'm going to have a spoiler-filled piece talking about my issues with Kingsman and why I had problems with that movie, but I couldn't really get into it in a review because it's really spoilery and I didn't want to be that jerk. I will be at Salt Lake Comic Con this weekend as well, and I will be I'm on 7 panels, and I will be recording 5 of them to go up, and so look for those coming up soon. And I'm also playing Drunk Comic Con, because you can drink in Salt Lake Comic Con. They sell beer. And I'm going to be playing Drunk Comic Con on Thursday, and I got permission from my friend to live blog it, so I'm going to be making a vlog of Drunk Comic Con.
This is going to be awesome.
Oh, excellent.
So if you know them offhand, do you know at least what the titles of the panels are?
On Thursday, around 2 o'clock, I'm on a panel talking about mental health in geek culture and representation of that. On Friday, all my panels are later in the day. I believe it's at 4 o'clock. I'm on a Power of Princess panel talking about princess tropes. I think I don't remember what time the other ones are at, but they're after that.
Yeah.
The second one I'm on is on a Marvel TV panel. Then I am also on a Dangerous Women of Comic-Con panel, which is getting a bunch of local females who are involved in various different ways in the geek community, and we're going to get up and talk about what's the positive and negative to speaking out in the geek community when you're a woman? How do you deal with some of the not so good stuff? And, just things like that. Getting any advice to any girls in the audience who might want to try to get into this, what to expect and whatnot. Then on Saturday, I'm on a Everyone But John Williams panel talking about music composers in movies. I know, I'm excited for that one. And then I'm on the LGBTQ panel later that afternoon as well, and then late in that on Saturday, on the last day, I'm on a Legion panel.
Nice, very cool.
Very nice.
I'm not busy at all.
No,
you slacker.
No, not at all. I know, right?
you couldn't make it 10. You could make it 10.
I'll be sure to bug you with all kinds of links all weekend.
Are you recording
the
composers panel?
I'm not recording it, but they are recording the con. I talked to the guy who runs all the panels and everything, and I was like, I want to record all my panels. He's like, don't record these 2 because we'll be recording them. The problem is I don't know when those recordings are going to be up. But the Power of Princess and the Not John Williams panel are the 2 that I'm not able to record.
Got it.
But thank you guys so much for coming on and joining me on this little video adventure that we're going on. Feel free to leave us any comments, any suggestions about how we can improve. Constructive criticism is nice. And maybe if you guys have any, we're thinking about possibly doing like a Q&A type of thing one of these times, just so if you guys have any questions for us, we are welcome to answer them. Since we're not able to have a panel at New York Comic Con this year, we thought maybe we would open up one of these to Q&A. And thanks you guys for joining me this time. I appreciate it.
No problem. Appreciate being
fun.
Interested.